you guys, this is Mike.
And this is Nita. And we are here with another update. We're going to give you guys a little insider of the TAC procedure that I did and what our thoughts were as we were going through the process and things like that. So let's have a look.
Hey you guys, we forgot to record earlier, but we are at the hospital for the TAC. Juanita's a little nervous.
I am a little nervous.
Little nervous.
Carlo forgot he was spending the whole time just trying to keep me calm. Say some prayers and have some friends call and pray for me. And so yeah, we're here. Guess we're going to be going back soon. But I'm nervous, but I know that it's in God's hands, and God's He's gonna lead the hands of the surgeon, and it'll be okay. All is well, as my friend says.
Yep, that's what one of our friends says. She always says, all is well, and all is well. So, okay, you guys, we gotta go. So I'm in the restroom. They just took Nita back to the operating room to get the surgery. I felt fine when she left. Lighting is really, really bad. Okay, there we go. I felt fine when she left. I just started kind of tearing up a little bit. Just, going under anesthesia, being pregnant is just, your mind starts to wonder, and that's why I have to lean on, I'm just not sure what to look right here, y'all. I'm sorry, if my eyes look weird. I have to understand that I have to lean on God and understand that his ways are higher than my ways, and understanding that God's not going to give a blessing to take it away. So that's something that I have to deal with internally. I'm definitely, reading my word. I'm going to be reading my word, doing this whole thing, and just watching some uplifting stuff to try to ease my mind. Going online, looking at surgeries that maybe last 10 to 15 minutes, just doing our research for the TAC, and to understand that it takes an hour and a half to 2 hours possibly. That kind of made me nervous. I'm like, oh my God, I thought I was gonna get a quick procedure and out of there. So that kind of made me nervous a little bit. When the anesthesiologist comes in and says, with general anesthesia is always a slight risk of miscarriage, and there's no way to monitor the baby because it's so early on in the pregnancy. That made me feel nervous. But I just keep hearing God's voice say, in my spirit, I keep hearing his voice echo, I got this. Don't worry about it. I got this. And I believe that. I believe that he has it. I believe that he's going to do exactly what he said he's going to do, because God is not a man that he should lie, right? He's going to make good on his promises. That's what he's going to do. Glory be to God, because I know that this is going to be a victorious, we're going to triumph this hurdle like we always do. This IVF process has not been an easy process for us. We've had a lot of roadblocks, a lot of road bumps, a lot of things that we thought should have happened fast didn't, and everything's in his timing and everything's in his planning. And I thank God for that. I thank God for his infinite wisdom in leading us and guiding us through this difficult time. And I know that God's going to do exactly what he said he's going to do. I know we're going to take this baby to full term, and I just know that it's going to work out. So I have to understand that I have a promise, I have a word from God, and that trumps any doubts that my personal feelings, that trumps it. His promise trumps my feelings. And I always make a comment that I desire to have his, God's will is better than any desire that I could have. Any desire. But I also know that he says he'll give you the desires of your heart. So I desire for this to be a victorious situation. So I know he's going to do that. So I just want to check into you guys and kind of let you know what my headspace was. And when Nita gets out of surgery and is in recovery, I'll definitely let you guys see her. Pretty sure everything's going to be just fine. But I just wanted to kind of talk it out. Since I've talked to you guys, I kind of feel better. And the thing about it is because we're not sharing this with our family. I don't know, we mentioned it in the previous video. We're not sharing this with anyone who's following our YouTube page. Those are the people who know that we're pregnant. Those are the people who know that we're going through the TAC. I just chose to kind of keep that to myself. I know it's customary not to even announce that you're pregnant until after your first trimester. So we definitely want to stick to customary, stick to that. It's just a little bit different because we're actually vlogging and we are documenting this journey. So the YouTube family is perfectly fine. People who follow me on YouTube know, and that's great. People who don't follow me on YouTube and who unfortunately don't watch our videos don't know and won't know until after the first trimester. So it's difficult because I really don't have nobody to call to kind of ease my mind, but that's okay. That's fine. I got God's word and I got his promise, and that's good enough. My hand's getting tired, you guys, so. Oh, and I almost dropped the camera. So I'm about to go. I feel better since I talked to you guys because I was kind of tearing up earlier, but I'm feeling better. So I will see you when Juanita gets out of recovery. Hey, you guys. So it is 3 hours past Nita's tech. I looked on the screen that they have to kind of get you to track your patients, and it seems that she's in recovery. The lady's walking over here. I'm hoping that she's walking over here to tell me that he would like to talk to me. Okay. Okay. Is a doctor coming, or she did mention him? Okay. So I'm guessing I'm not gonna talk to the doctor about the procedure that he gave. Yeah, we were, he comes highly recommended for the tech in Dallas, and we were contemplating, are we gonna use him as our OBGYN? We already have some other options. Might be exploring other options because, yeah, I don't even get to talk to you when you finish the surgery. I've been waiting in the recovery room for 3 hours, and everyone has been gotten by their doctor, talked to, either come out, doctor has made a drive-by, everything looks good, blase, 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 everything like that. So that kind of concerns me. Is he doing it because it's good news, or does he not want to? I don't know. I'm trying to let my mind wander, because I've been waiting for all this time, and I'm kind of nervous just to kind of see, was it successful? I mean, which I think, I know it was. I mean, I'm having faith in God in the situation, but at the same time, as a human, you want to be reassured that everything's okay. And he hasn't came to tell me anything, so that's a little concerning. But still have faith that everything's gonna be fine. They said I can go back to see her in the next 30 minutes, so it's 2:24 now. So, it's 2:24. So I will go back there around 3 o'clock, I guess. We got here at 8:30, and the surgery, he told me it's gonna take an hour and a half to 2 hours, or however long it takes. That was his reply. And it's been 3 hours. They took her back at 10:30, but they didn't actually start the surgery until 11:19. So I was concerned why it took so long for them to start the surgery in the first place. And then I didn't see the system update until 2 o'clock. So I don't know exactly how long it was done, because I guess it may be a latency with the actual technician keying in. Is it done? She's in recovery and everything like that? So I don't know. I have no clue. But the nurse just called and said that I'm gonna be able to go back in 30 minutes. She's in recovery right now. She's been in recovery. I've been seeing it change 30 minutes ago. So they typically keep you in recovery for an hour. So yeah, I'm a little concerned, and thought it was just kind of impersonal for him not to come out and talk to me. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm kind of stuck on that. I guess because we've been through a lot of loss, and we just been through a lot, and I would just like doctors that have nice bedside manner and that are sensitive, but I'm not gonna be able to possibly. you know, Juanita was on the fence about, you know, he seems like a nice guy. He's just very straightforward, pretty straightforward. You know, and I'm okay with that. But at the same time, you got to give me some kind of common courtesy and talk to me after you did the surgery. This is, you know, even though it's laparoscopic, it's still major surgery. Anytime you have to go under anesthesia, it's a risk. So, whatever. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to check back in with you guys when Nita is out of recovery. Okay, you guys, update. I got to see Nita, but I didn't want to film her because she was still kind of groggy. I'm actually waiting in the room for them to bring her now. She had mild cramping, so they had to give her some medicine for that. So they had to keep her down in the recovery room for a little while longer. And then we should be getting out of here pretty soon. What else? I finally got to talk to the doctor. He had an emergency, so he had to actually step out, and he planned on talking to both of us together in the recovery. So he kind of saved himself, I guess. He said everything went well though. Exactly what I thought. I don't know if I said it in the previous video, but Juanita's had two tubal ligations and some fibroids removed at two separate ones. One was laparoscopic and one was an actual full, like a C-section. So she has a lot of scar tissue down there. So it was all adhesed together. The bowel, the ovaries, and the uterus was all, you know, kind of stuck together. So he had to cut through all of that to actually place the tack. So, yeah. So he was able to get through all that. So the uterus was stuck to the abdominal wall. He got that all cleared up. So hopefully it'll make it till the pregnancy. Everything will be good. But everything is looking good. He said very minimal bleeding, so that's a good sign, he said. You know, and that's really, really it. I'm really, really excited to see her. Well, like I said, I got to see her and I kissed her or whatever, but I really didn't get to talk long because they kind of rushed me out and told me to go up to the room so I can wait for her. And then he just left, gave me some pictures. So I'm really, 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 really excited that it went well. Like, I was kind of freaking out and he told me that's why it took so long, because they had to literally get everything unstuck so that he could get down to the cervix to place the cerclage. And he said once they did that, then it was a piece of cake, you know, so. But he said everything went well. I gotta go. One of my friends is calling me to check on me. Look who I got, you guys, finally.
Hey guys. I'm a little hoarse because from that breathing tube that they had, but I'm feeling a lot better. I did have some cramping and they gave me some medicine for that. They assured me that it's safe for the baby, so I did take some medicine, because at first, you guys, I was trying to be a soldier, but then that pain started getting to me, so I went ahead and took it, so I feel a lot better. No bleeding. I got like 5 little incisions, including one that's in the belly button, but they look okay. Not really too much to report. I feel good about the surgery. Of course, I'm nervous, and I probably won't, you know, feel a complete sense of peace until after I hear that baby's heartbeat, but I do feel good, and I'm not gonna worry about it. I know that everything's in God's hands, and so on that note, I'm good as well. I'm just ready to get home now. So ready to get home and rest. Typically whenever I've been under any kind of anesthesia, I just sleep on and off all day. That's pretty much all I've been doing. So I'm waiting to get home, get comfortable, and go ahead and sleep the rest of this off. So everything went well, you guys, successful.
So yeah, and then we have a appointment next week with our fertility doctor to the 6-week checkup to hear the baby heartbeat. So that's amazing.
Right, I'm 6 weeks exactly, and so when I go for go to my fertility doctor, I will be.
What day is it? Tuesday or Wednesday?
It's on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, so next Tuesday.
So I will be 4 days, 6 weeks and 4 days. So yeah.
Yep. So the tech is in. We'll get the baby's heartbeat, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, we'll go from there. And then after, by then it'll be another they said I'm okay to go back to work, just take it easy and stuff like that. But he said I should completely be healed up within 4 to 5 weeks. So I'm probably gonna get back to doing my walking and stuff like that I used to do.
Exactly, and if she's not feeling 100% on Sunday, then she'll just get some more days. She's already talked to her manager, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Who's definitely working with her through this. And then the doctor, he seems really, really nice. Like I said, you guys, I kind of had a mishap, but he's okay now.
Yeah.
So yeah, all is well. So
yeah, all is well.
We're excited, so we're gonna let Nita get dressed. She's been out. She's been out for about 2.5 hours now.
Right.
And she's finna get dressed.
Off and on sleep, y'all.
Yeah. So we can get dressed and go home. So
yeah.
ready to go home. So we will talk to you guys. I guess this is the end of the video.
Yeah.
So make sure you give this video a big thumbs up.
Yes,
and continue to pray for us. Subscribe. Continue to pray for us. This is
because after this it will be weekly bump dates, but we're not gonna call them bump dates because let's face it, you guys, I'm overweight, so I got a belly already. But it will be weekly updates about what's going on with me, symptoms, and things like that. If you guys are interested, so make sure you get those notifications.
Make sure you get the notification. I know this vlog looks janky because I'm on my phone and then I'm on my phone, her phone. So, but I merge these videos together. I know this video look janky. Don't judge us, y'all. The lighting bad, audio probably bad. I don't know.
Well, I just got a surgery, so I ain't worried about what it look like. It'd be alright.
I'm just talking about the video quality.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. All right, you guys. So we will see you guys in the next video. The next video probably will be us updating you on the baby's heartbeat and all that good stuff. So.
Yes.
We will see you guys in the next video.
All right. Bye.
Hey, you guys. So that was the actual TAC procedure, and I thought it was a very, very trying day.
Yeah, it was stressful. It was a little stressful.
It was very, very stressful. It was very, very scary to have the anesthesiologist tell you, you know, it is a possibility that you could, you know, lose the baby. It's no way to monitor the baby.
Right.
Going into that, we didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't realize. But, I mean, she did say that the outcome outweighs the risk. Because if I don't get it, then obviously I probably won't be able to carry the baby. So, but yeah, but it was the first time. Like, obviously with any surgery, anytime you go under, there's always risk. But that's the first time when she mentioned that we actually thought that there's a small possibility that we can come out of this and lose the baby. So.
Exactly, and it was just so scary because, you know, looking on YouTube, doing our research, thinking it's going to be a 30 minutes to an hour surgery, and she was in surgery for 3 hours. That was really, really scary. Him not coming out immediately to talk to me regarding the surgery was scary. I'm like, what has happened? What has transpired? You know, and then come to find out he had an emergency, so that's why he, you know, wasn't able to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
It just was really, 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 really scary because...
For him, I was asleep, so...
Exactly, for me, because I just was like, wow, what is going on? And I'm thinking to myself, is it the scar tissue? Because she's had previous surgeries in the past, and that's exactly what it was. It was, he said he had to cut through so much scar tissue, and it took him literally almost the entire surgery just to get through the scar tissue to even place the cerclage.
Right, because I've had, you guys, this right here would be my 4th surgery, right? 2 tubal removals, 2 LEEP procedures. So yeah, so this will be my 5th surgery. So yeah, so he had quite a bit that he had to get through, and what did he say? He said my ovary and my uterus was stuck to my abdominal cavity, so they had to basically cut through all that
to be able to
even
get below the uterus to even place the TAC. So.
Right. And of course, he had to take his time and do it because if the uterus is adhered to abdominal wall, he wants to make sure he doesn't obviously cause any bleeding or damage to the uterus. So,
but the good thing about it is that he had minimal bleeding, so that was good.
Yeah, he took his time.
He had minimal bleeding. I mean, it literally took him 3 hours. It was really, really, really crazy. But
it was scary. And then, you know, Nita was in way more pain than what she anticipated. And I think that kind of scared her.
Yeah.
Friday was a very tough day for us.
Yeah. Friday and that Saturday was the toughest day. Sunday got a little better, but it was still rough for me because, like I said, I've had previous surgeries, and it's not my first time having a laparoscopic surgery. And I do know that when you get a laparoscopic surgery, they fill the cavity up with gas, with air, so that they can see with the camera. So I expected there to be gas and stuff, but I didn't expect the amount of cramping that I had. You guys, like, I was cramping, and like when I woke up, the first thing it says, "You feel any pain?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they gave me some medicine, but I was still in pain, so they gave me some more medicine. And of course, I'm thinking, how is this medicine going to affect the baby? And then I finally started waking up. I finally started stirring around, stirring up and stuff. I'm like, where is my husband? Because he was there, and then he left. And they said, well, he's in the room. We're waiting for you to get a little more alert so I can take you up there. And so, mind you, I want to go back to sleep, but I'm trying to stay awake because I want to be with my husband. So, but it was very scary because first thing you think is like, am I cramping because I'm going to lose baby? Is this normal? And again, there's no way for them to really monitor anything because I'm only 5 weeks and the baby's just not big enough to really monitor. So it was scary.
Then that night she, was contemplating trying to go back to the hospital because it was cramping so bad, and it was hard for her to urinate because of all the pressure, and she felt extra pressure in her abdominal. She felt very, very pressured. And I know this is TMI, but I feel as though, Nita isn't as regular as digestive wise as she should be.
Right. And
I know all that stuff is connected. And he even said that some of the bile was on the uterus. So I really thought it was because of digestive issues that's why she felt way more discomfort than what she needed to.
Right. And just to give a little bit of history, the reason why I was so scared is because I've had a miscarriage before. And I remember I didn't even know I was pregnant. I had a miscarriage. And I was cramping really, really bad. And I had to feel like I had to use the restroom. But I would use the restroom and there's nothing there. And so finally I was talking to my old mother from church. And she was saying, that sounds like that's a miscarriage. And I went to the hospital, sure enough, that was a miscarriage. So it was just that feeling just reminded me of that miscarriage. I was cramping really bad and I felt like I needed to go use the restroom, which I did need to use the restroom. I was constipated. But I couldn't use the restroom because it would hurt for me to bear down. So and then at the same time, I can feel the gas. I can feel the gas as it moves around and stuff. And I guess because all that stuff was tender down there, I was just in a lot of pain. I was in a lot of pain for at least 3 days.
Yeah,
so that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And I was worried as well. And I think the main thing that I was worried about was, in my mind, in my own mind is like, God's not going to give you a blessing to take it away. Mm-hmm. And we've come so far. We've given you guys a very small clip of our life with this fertility journey. If we would have been vlogging this fertility journey from the very beginning, you guys would have been able to be on the roller coaster with us because it's been a long time to get here. Mm-hmm. And I felt like, oh my gosh, are we going to lose the baby because we needed to have this surgery? And, I'm thinking to myself, I wish we would have known. We could have got it before we did the IVF and everything like that. And then Nita was in so much pain. I think our expectations were very not realistic of understanding the amount of pain she was going to be in.
I was going to be going through. Because like I said, this is not my first surgery, but yet this is the worst that I've ever felt. But this is also the longest I have to be in surgery and the most that they had to actually go in there and do before they can get to the final result.
Exactly, because the last time she had a laparoscopic surgery was to take out the ectopic in January of 2016. Mm-hmm. But you got to understand, they didn't have to cut through that much scar. They had to cut through scar tissue, but they're taking out a tube. They're just taking out a tube. He literally had to cut through the entire the uterus is stuck to the abdominal cavity. I gotta shave that off, move that to the side, and then I still gotta
and then
get below to the cervix to do the stitch.
Right,
So,
which is below where the ovaries are, below where the fallopian tubes are, below where the fibroids were. So mind you, he's trying to get to the very bottom of the uterus. So, but we made it. We're here. I'm feeling so much better. I have to say that once I finally had a bowel, sorry guys, and passing a lot of gas, I finally started to feel better.
And that was another thing, because we was trying to figure out what can you take. You know, you can take certain laxatives when you are pregnant that are safe for the baby. And then, you know, I told Nita to take pretty sure you guys know it, Delcalax, to have a bowel movement.
Mm-hmm.
And after she took it, I'm just doing additional research on the internet, and people are saying, don't take this with laparoscopic surgery. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
And the reason why is because when it gets your bowels to move, the cramping that it does, like you can feel, and then like I'm already sore down there. I'm already feeling pressure down there. So because with the spasms, because your bowels are trying to move, that's what they do when they move. They spasm to push everything down. Oh my gosh, that was painful. But once it allowed me to poo and get rid of a lot of gas, and I was feeling so much better. So I was out of work from that Friday. I was due back to go in on Tuesday, but I wasn't ready, so I called out that Wednesday. I was due to go, but yeah, on Tuesday, so I called out that Tuesday. I was already off on Wednesday, so I went back to work on Thursday. So I was almost out for a full week before I actually started feeling.
Still wasn't 100%.
No. But that's just so I felt good enough to actually walk around. But I went from recovering and resting and moving around only when I needed to being on my feet for 8 hours. Because my job requires me to be on my feet for 8 hours.
And then another thing that we needed to remember is that the previous surgeries, she wasn't working at the time, so she was able to actually recover at a slower pace. It wasn't rushed or anything like that. I think this is the first time that you've had to have surgery, well, besides the cone, which I don't really count the cone as major surgery, because I mean, it's really not.
I mean, you have cramping and bleeding,
but it's not. I mean, it's nothing, you know.
Yeah. Well, so it was my first time that I had to actually recover and get back to work. Before I wasn't working because I had back issues and things like that. So I was able to take my time to recover. So that first day back was rough. It was really rough, but I just took my time and I got through it. I worked at my own pace, and everybody knew that I was coming back from a surgery. They don't know from what, but they knew I was coming back from surgery. So I was lucky enough to have people that were patient with me. So that's the update with that. Like I said, once I finally needed to do what I needed to do as far as Mother Nature goes, it did get a lot better. It made me realize that what I was feeling was gas and constipation.
And I really thought it was the constipation because, like I said, her digestive system isn't the best.
Okay.
And she, unfortunately, didn't have that business handled prior to surgery. And then she had to go through surgery and then wait. And then they give you that pain medicine, that anesthesia.
Even more.
So I really, that's just honestly what I was thinking in my head. And I'm thinking to myself, it can't be, because she was like, I know this feeling before. And I was like, it has to be the history of just not having a good digestive system.
Right.
And thank God that's what it was.
Because even though you may have been thinking what you were thinking, but you never, that's my first time hearing him thinking that, because the whole time he was like, well, God's not going to bless us. He doesn't give a miracle and then take it away. That's just not how he works. And I was like telling him, I was like, yeah, I believe that. But, when you have things that you're going through that reminds you of your past, you can't help but to think about your past, because that's just what it reminded me of, and that just it was scary for me. So.
And it is my first time sharing it. I typically, when we're going through something together, I try to be the strong person and try to be the man and try to be, try to be as constant as possible and try to be encouraging. But I'm freaking out just as much as she is, most likely. But I'm not gonna. We both can't freak out at the same time. Right. We gotta have somebody that's gonna be there and
grounded
and be grounded and have that person of faith you know, not saying she's not a person of faith, but have that, you know, articulating faith, saying it out loud. And I think the enemy uses our past as evidence to say, yeah, this is happening.
Right.
See, it happened here, it's going to happen now, you know. And we have to be mindful not to feed into the devil's ploys and his ways of the way he think. You know, Joyce Meyer wrote a great book, The Battlefield of the Mind, and it really is a great teaching tool because that's how he starts. He starts in here. Sin always starts here. The doubt always starts in here. Yeah. It doesn't just appear. Right. So, I think we believe that God's blessing us, and I think it was a walk of faith. And you know, we have great friends who are great prayer warriors, and who helped us do this journey. You know, who honestly believed when we couldn't, and it was really, really refreshing to have friends who support you on a spiritual level. It's always good to have people who will pray for you and you can trust things with it. Because I think so many times in certain times of our life when we was going through things, we didn't share with anybody, so we didn't have anybody to encourage us because we just wanted to take care of ourselves. And I'm glad that we're opening up to our friends and letting them know what's going on with us so they can pray for us, because it really does make a difference.
It makes a big difference.
So, but you guys, that is the TAC story. And the next video, we should be all caught up. We were actually filming videos as they were happening.
Right. But fell behind
uploading
them.
So we're going to be all caught up next week. Next week, you will see several updates, and that'll catch you up. So next week, you got to come back next week, and then you'll be all caught up, and then you'll see exactly what's going on. And then we'll be doing bump updates from there, and then normal stuff from there. Right. And tell us if you like this new way that we're doing it. I want to try to actually insert clips going to doctor's appointments and doing things instead of just sitting here talking to you guys. Right. So I think this video may be a little bit longer than the ones in the future, but definitely tell us if you like this style. So just let us know. So
that's all we got.
I think that's all we got, you guys. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can always share this with your friends on your social media. We would definitely appreciate it. We love you guys. Continue to pray for us. We will continue to pray for you. You guys have a good week.
All right, be blessed.